What are you thinking, Mac?
I don't know, Ree. I think I hear something sweet.
Oh, really? What's that?
I think I hear some sweet honey.
You know what I'm thinking?
What's that, Ree?
I'm thinking about $1 million listing in Miami.
Oh, really?
I was born to buy and sell real estate. It's the ultimate game, and no one can stop me from winning.
I hustle my ass off. That's how I'm going to go from being an underdog to taking over.
I work smarter, not harder. My life's expensive, but I'm worth it.
This is what I think it's worth.
No other agent does what I do, including you.
3, 2, 1.
This is the Mac Media Show.
You can't be a thumbs up. Why don't you tell everybody I'm awesome, huh?
This
is the Mac Media Show. Welcome to the Mac Media Show, everyone. This is $1 Million Listing Miami, Episode 3 review. Is that right?
2. Episode 2.
No, this is Episode 3. You're messed up.
Am I?
Yeah, we did 2 last week. We were behind.
Oh, okay.
This is 3.
Okay,
This
that's
is
right.
3.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Yes, so now that you've messed up the intro,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've reached out to you. Probably a $1 million listing Miami fan. You're either on Twitter that we've been talking, maybe on another YouTube video that you've seen, maybe a couple blog posts that you've seen us advertising our videos. So if you are, join the community. There's about 1,000 of us that watch these videos, and we get all kinds of responses on Twitter. We've got almost about 10,000 followers on Twitter. We're called the Mac Medians. So go and join the Mac Median movement. Use the hashtag Mac Median movement when you tweet me. It's pretty cool. We've got me and Ree here reviewing Episode 3 of $1 Million Listing Miami. We watch $1 Million Listing, all of them, LA, Miami, and New York, and we also watch Celebrity Apprentice. I imagine we're going to be reviewing that. I'm excited.
I would love
That's
to.
my favorite.
Kate Gosselin's my favorite.
I hate Kate Gosselin. We all watch just to hate on Kate Gosselin.
Are we going to have hate Kate?
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
No.
She makes me think of Walmart.
No, we're going to go into it with a good attitude.
Did I tell you I had to go shopping yesterday? I had to go to Walmart?
No.
It was awful.
No.
I tweeted out, I said yesterday on my Twitter, I posted a picture of there were 2 people on one scooter, going beep, beep, beep. She was standing on the back of this big old fat lady. The crack was showing. And it said, "Welcome to Walmart, the new carpool aisle." And I tweeted out, I said they should have things painted on the floor to direct the flow of the buggies, because people are idiots. Now they have a "Do Not Enter" sign on the door.
Do they really?
When you come in the front doors, yeah, it says "Do Not Enter" on one side.
Oh,
Because
man.
people, and
because
the
I love
second
to
that I
watch
saw
that.
it, I thought, oh, that's cool. It says "Do Not Enter." I bet the doors don't open now when you walk in on that side. Freaking somebody comes, they go walking right in the "Do Not Exit." I mean, just right off the bat. I just thought, read the signs.
No, see, that's been the fun part to me when I leave. I like to stand there a few minutes and watch the people go wrong.
Yeah,
it's
pathetic.
It's funny.
So
I don't know why they do
drinking
that.
out of my Mac Media mug today. It makes me feel important. And so we're here to review the show. Did you watch the show last night? You watched it.
I did.
We both watched it.
Mm-hmm. I did.
And we're here to talk about it. We were hating on it the first 2 weeks, and of course, we're gonna watch every week, whether we hate it or we don't. We're gonna watch it, and we hated on it last week pretty severely. We thought it's kind of making a joke out of real estate almost in Miami. New York and LA it's been pretty serious, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. And this one was different. The bikini contest and all the crap. Well, we gave it another chance, and this week it was a lot better. Mm-hmm. It was a lot better. If you
about it.
If you haven't been watching it, go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good week, and so let's start off with what happens. We get there on the first thing we see is Sam. She tells us about dropping the listing. Okay, we learn that she's got a little puppy dog.
Yeah.
She named the dog Chloe Chanel.
I love that.
And
I love it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And then Chloe Chanel, and that just kind of fits her personality, it seems like, huh? Mm-hmm. But she's had it for 8.5 years selling real estate, she said. So.
She had a little pink dress on.
No, I can't stand that. I can't stand that, Sam. Come on, Sam.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, Sam was better this week.
I think so.
Still not dressing any different, but that's okay.
But we were
okay.
We were more into real estate this week.
Yeah,
too.
Sam was doing a lot
that's
better.
why I enjoyed it more. Yeah.
Yeah, and she did she did a really good deal with Lisa. She's looking for a house for Lisa. Mm-hmm. And that was funny.
And her pit bull.
Yep, and her pit bull. I thought, you know what I thought was funny? They said pit bulls aren't allowed in Miami, and I thought about Pitbull, the singer. Pitbull
is from Miami.
Is from Miami, so it's kind of funny. They don't let pit bulls in there, so I'm sure he's made a joke about that.
That is weird. I didn't know you could outlaw a dog.
I didn't know you could either.
Wow,
seems doggist.
Not racist. Yeah, it would be.
You're a racist, man.
I don't know what that would be.
So then we see Chris. Okay, we switch back to Chris, and he's sipping a cocktail on his luxury deck, and he says, "Sylvia is his housekeeper," and he's selling a 1000 Ocean is the address of the apartment at $13.9 million. He's co-listing it, and his co-lister recommended last week that they have a bikini contest open house. So he's calling all of his brokers on his deck, trying to get everybody interested in coming to the open house in Boca Raton. And then it switches back to Sam, meeting with her client, Lisa. And Lisa's in the market for a home, and so Sam's trying to convince her to buy a waterfront home. And Lisa's can only pay about 1.2 to 1.6 million. I thought this was probably the best part of it. Well, it's between this and Chad selling his, almost selling his apartment. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I thought Sam looking for the home for Lisa was a good part to the show this week. I enjoyed watching all the big houses, looking at all the waterfront properties with the yachts and the ocean access. And what'd you think about all that?
I did. I liked it. It seemed like it was more focused on the real estate part, which is the part I like. Yeah. I like to see what they're selling at what price, that kind of thing. Yeah. And it's
Lisa had a big old dog. She needed grass in the backyard.
Yeah, the pit bull.
She's picky, but she got what she wanted, and she got it for a good price, and we'll talk about what happened with that later. So then we switch to Chad, and he's selling a big, a combined condo unit. Is that right?
I think it is. It was one that was remodeled big time. They put $4 million into it. Okay. And then decided not to live in it. Right. And that's why he wanted the price, so high. When Chad went in and they talked about, he wanted like $6 million. And Chad said there's just no way because the highest price one around here sold for $4.7. Right. And,
that was ridiculous. The guy saying, he said he wanted $6 million. And I think that's ridiculous. If your nearest comp 3 floors below, or was it above? I think it was above. 3 floors.
No, he's on the top, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he was on the top.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But anyways, your nearest comp is 4.7, and the guy wants $6 million. I mean, what? He's crazy.
Well, buyers don't understand because you heard what he said.
Stupid,
sellers, excuse me, don't understand because you heard him comment the seller had put $4 million in upgrades in it. And I thought then, you can overdo one for what the price you can get for it. And that's what Chad said. He said you can only do what the market will bear. It doesn't matter what the guy put in it.
It doesn't matter what renovation.
You will lose if you put too much in a property and overdo it, and try to sell it. I wish
I could do anything to a house and then sell it and make money. I mean, good Lord, you can't do that.
That's right, you can't. Not the real estate
being really unrealistic, and Chad did a good job getting him back into reality. And so Chad says, let's list it at 5.3. Finally gets a guy down, and they listed it at 5.3. This cat is about to tear down our wall with. Yeah. If you probably can't hear it. Anyways, Chris. Okay, we switched from Chad to Chris, and of course Chad almost made $159,000 on that commission, and we'll talk about how he's possibly lost all of that commission here soon. So then we switch to Chris. Chris is getting relaxed. He's at the spa. His facial stuff is he's getting all kinds of facial stuff done. They're bringing him caviar. It's
unbelievable.
What kind of life is that?
Oh,
Chris has got an attitude. I don't know if I like it.
He said he's expensive, but he's worth it.
I say that about myself.
Hey,
Yeah.
But he's paying for it. Hey, it's not like he's living off anybody else. He's making his own money. He's spending it the way he wants to.
I heard him say in one little clip, he said, I need to go show off the $1 million smile that I paid for. Yeah. Literally, huh? Yeah. So they're bringing him caviar and everything else, and he's on the phone, of course, talking to clients. So dramatic. He's always working.
He really does take care of himself.
Yeah. I wonder if he really if he's one of those people that if you met him in real life and like wanted to shake his hand or like wanted to meet him, and if he would be open to that, or if he's more like Frederick, where he'll ignore you if he's, you know. That's true. I don't know. I can't tell if he's different from, of course he could be different from on TV, but he seems kind of snotty, kind of like it's my way or the highway a little bit, you know.
Has a little
walks
attitude.
with a little sass.
Yeah.
You know, a little.
Yeah, he's funny.
Prissy's a little stepping, but
yeah.
Anyways. So they bring him caviar. Sam shows up at Chris's open house. Mm-hmm. This is the bikini contest open house. And she says, you might want to lay off the Botox because it's seeping into your brain.
Yeah.
Talking about the $14 million price on
sales price, right?
Yeah. It was interesting because she is kind of the amateur in that relationship. Chris is more of the veteran, and she could learn from Chris, and that was kind of disrespectful, you know.
Well, you know, that one was a record pricing. Remember, they had talked about there had not been anything that had sold for that much. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what she was comparing it to. You know, of course, you remember what he said last week. He wanted to price it at 20.
He wanted to say $20 million.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I think the girl was right. What was her name?
I don't know. It was a co-lister. I don't know who her name was.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name was.
I have in my notes from last week, but
she was right, I think.
Oh, I think so.
To do what she did.
Well, we talked about they didn't sell immediately, and it still hasn't sold, I don't believe. We'll see next episode. It's interesting what happens. We'll talk about what happens. But so we move on to Chad, and it shows his girlfriend, and they're setting up the wine bottles for the open house, and he's kind of making fun of her. And what are your thoughts on Jen? Let's be honest.
He said she was a
she okay.
What is she?
She is an on-camera entertainment reporter.
Okay, on-camera entertainment reporter. Nancy O'Dell, I'm guessing, something like that. She looks a little lightheaded and looks like her face has been stretched. I don't really know. And that's ugly. That's just ugly on my part because you know what? It might be natural.
It could be.
I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
But it looks funny. Yeah. It looks odd. she's just plasticky looking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I mean, some people prefer to look that way.
Is it okay?
It's not okay to judge that way.
You're not holding back anything.
No, I don't want to be ugly, though. I don't want to be ugly.
Wow.
But she's
so that's Jen.
A big part of his life.
Yeah, she's got a 90-degree mouth. Anyways, Jen, shout out to Jen. Mm-hmm. Going on to Chad. No, we just talked about Chad and Jen. Now Sam is looking for Lisa. She's bringing the dogs again. What is up with the dog thing? I don't get the dog thing. I wouldn't take my dog or cat to any listing.
I wouldn't either.
Of course, they had like a dog date to set up, so whatever.
I don't know on that level. I think probably people do eccentric things on that level. You know, I was not selling on that level, so
that's something that I don't want to do.
It would just get in the way to me, but
whatever.
Know.
So they're bringing their dogs, and Lisa says, "You know, I need a backyard." And they go to the first house, and it's old. Mm-hmm. It was gross.
Well, she's gonna have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, it was $1.6 million. It was the most expensive of all three of the houses they saw.
Mm-hmm. But it was old.
And,
you're right.
Real old, ugly furniture. I mean, it's just the worst furniture. If you're gonna live on a beachfront house like that, or oceanfront, why have that furniture?
No, it was awful.
It was awful.
Must have been an older couple or something that just had old stuff. But it was bad.
It was bad. So then they move on to the second house, and I really liked the second house. That was
nice.
My favorite. The inside was great. The backyard was a little weird, like the backyard area.
Was that the one that was selling the Bentley with it?
No, the backyard area on this one was like the super pool. I loved it.
That was nice.
Yeah,
but is this the one that had the Bentley in the front?
That was the third house, yeah.
You sure?
I think so.
I was thinking it was the second one.
I didn't write that down.
It's the second one because the guy said, "Don't forget the Bentley."
Okay, well,
when they were in the backyard, so that was the one you liked, and it came with the Bentley.
Right. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it was a nice house. I would have bought that house.
Could have bought the house and sold the Bentley, and then done what you needed to do.
Paid the electric bill with the Bentley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we move on to Chris. Nope. We move on to Chad. This is the next segment. But we already talked about this. Jen, he says she's a successful on-camera entertainment reporter. He says, she doesn't live with me, but she's here all the time. So I don't know if she's the leechy type. I don't want to diss on Jen.
No, we don't need to do that. We hadn't seen enough of her.
This is kind of annoying.
Know much about her, and she just kind of sits in the background right now. And
I don't know if that's supposed to be her personality on TV or not, but it is what it is. So they're setting up the open house together, yeah. Then, okay, the end of the episode, like the last 10, 15 minutes was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. I enjoyed it. This was what was a turning point for me. And it was more, I felt like L.A. or like New York. It was really good. It was really
when they did the commercial, when they showed the commercial right before, like at the end of the segment, and they had a commercial after that. The girl was going, I can't remember her name. Started with an S.
Co-lister to Chris?
Yeah. What was her name?
Stacy?
Syndic? No.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Oh,
she
I know
said,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
She goes,
Sedina?
Are you kidding me? Or something. And in my head, I thought, oh, no, he's backed out.
Okay, you're
he's
right.
Backed out.
We saw a preview, and his co-lister, Sedina, is talking to the seller.
Is it Sedina?
Sabina?
Yeah, I can't remember. I need to write her name down next time.
Sedina.
Anyway, yeah. And I thought then, oh, no, he's backed out of that deal.
Well, yeah, you were thinking that. And
I was.
And you were right.
I know when it came back on, I was really surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And but one thing I would have done is since the owner backed out, since the owner decided to come back, knowing they were doing what they were doing, the open house, the big expenditure, all that, I would have put something in for partial payment back, partial repayment.
Yeah,
I would have.
Sense. Okay.
Now I know Chris stood up and said, "No, we don't do that. We're not going to ask for any money back or whatever." But and that's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some brokers will do that in an effort to say, I want anything else that you want to list again, or if you ever decide again, call me back.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think in this case that the seller would have been hesitant at all to help pay at least half of what they had put into that.
Right. So
I would have done that. That's the only different thing I would have probably done.
I don't know. I'm kind of like Chris. You're on that level. You don't burden those people with that. You know, I mean, you're spending that on a daily basis.
But on that level, they spent 50-something thousand.
You know, I mean,
so 25 would be nothing to those people to help pay back.
No, it wouldn't be anything
for the effort that you tried. If it had fallen through for any other reason except that the seller decided to come back, then I probably wouldn't have done it.
Well, I do things for clients like that on a smaller scale. You know, I don't ask for $25,000 back. I write those little things off. You know, it's not on that scale again, but little things like that, I'll just say, yeah, save it for next time. You know, instead, just use me again later on. You know, it's kind of like Chris is thinking if I ask back, they're not gonna. You know, they look at you different. You know, they say, oh, that was a nice thing that he spent all that money. He was very dedicated. And they'll use you for other properties. I promise you, especially if they're Miami clients.
Maybe so.
I bet it depends on the client, too.
Yeah.
You know, if it's like an international client that you may never see again, maybe not. Maybe you do ask them. But I understand what Chris was doing there. I think I would probably
both sides of it.
I would have probably done what Chris does. That's just me. That's my personality. But
it just depends.
You're greedy. You want your money.
No, it's not that. It's just the fact that the owners decided to do that, and they could have made a decision prior to that. They didn't have. You know, it was like they're just toying with these people and don't care what they spend.
Unless it's about the broker, like Chris said. Chris asked him. He said, "Let's be honest." He said, "Are they going to go with another broker?"
Right.
If they all, he said they weren't, but they still could be. And if that's the case, then they wouldn't have waited. And you know,
they wouldn't be going with another broker. It wouldn't matter. They hadn't even had it on the market with them very long. So I mean. They wouldn't be doing that. Yeah. So he's right. They must be moving back.
So, anyways, that was after Chris got a commitment from somebody in the building below, or a couple of buildings, a couple floors below. She said that she wanted to move in. She was going to pay it. She could do it now. And so he had a great offer, and the guy just, Campion, who was their representative for the seller, came in and said, "It's just we're not selling anymore. It's over." So. It's interesting. It's kind of Chris lost $200,000.
Wow!
Can you believe that?
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So Sam, let's see, takes Lisa to a home for $1.4 million, and they make an offer of $1.2 million originally. That's what they had decided to do. And then it switches segments. It goes back to Chad, who's at his open house. Okay, Ty takes Chad aside, and he offers $5 million immediately.
That was awesome.
How awesome is that? Your first open house, and you've got an offer for $5 million. The listing is $5.3. Luck of the draw, Very lucky.
You do get lucky every now and then.
That's great though. I mean, how lucky, how great is that? I want to talk about Chad's marketing inside the open house. This is something that when I saw it, and of course I'm very prideful. I am myself. So I tell myself that when I see things like this, it's something creative that I would do. Like, and I know that's prideful sounding.
It was good.
But I love to do things that are different. Put my face on the bottle and call it Chad Toe.
It was good.
You know, I mean, how Chad Toe wine, Chad. I mean, it's great. That is awesome. And on the back for its little nutrition facts, you know, it's got calories and it says $5.3 million. I mean, it's
all the
so
stats
awesome.
of the property.
And everybody that visits takes a bottle home.
It was awesome.
And they keep it and they sit it on their counter forever.
That was real impressive.
That house is in their mind forever.
Yep.
They see that bottle sitting there on their kitchen counter. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot that house is there. You know, it's incredible. I love that idea.
It was good. It was really
such a cool idea for an open house.
That was good.
Any real estate agents listening, do something creative.
That was really good.
That's awesome. So great job on Chad's part. I love that.
You notice what he did too is he took one of the biggest or most outstanding features of the property, and he highlighted that. That's why he did the wine, was because of that big wine closet. I'm telling you,
he's got something that I really like. I told you in the first episode that I like Chad.
Yeah.
I like Chad. He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
I like Chad.
They're all good in their own ways, different ways. Yeah.
So Chad, let's see, meets to tell him $5 million offer. Okay, so Chad and his seller meet. He's got to tell him the offer of $5 million from Ty, and his seller's not happy. He originally wanted to list it at $6 million, so he gets a $5 million offer in what the first open house a week, 7 days.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, okay, I was right about the price. You know, in his head, he's thinking, I should have done $6 million if I'm already getting an offer for this. And Chad has to convince him otherwise. And finally, he accepts the offer at $5 million. And so Chad makes $150,000 in 7 days.
Gosh, that's nice.
So good for Chad. He goes out and he goes car shopping with Jim. We see, and he gets a brand new.
What was that? Was it?
Thinking.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I can't believe I forgot that. It's a really nice car.
Goes 200 miles an hour.
No, he didn't do that one.
Oh, he didn't get that one?
No. Was it a Bentley? No, a Bentley.
I can't remember.
I can't believe I
drawing a
forgot
blank.
that.
I didn't pay any attention to the car, so I was looking at the real estate.
Let's see. Chad goes up. And Aston Martin.
Yes, that's right. That's what he said.
Oh, man, I love that car.
Yes, nice. It's nice. He drove. Did he buy it? He drove off in it.
Yeah, he bought it. He went in there. He says, Jen, I'm going to buy something today.
Ooh.
He says, okay, honey.
Yeah.
You buy something, honey.
Yeah, it's great to be me.
Chad, I want a sports car. Chad, look at that Aston Martin.
He's making big bucks.
I don't blame him. Hey. Yeah. So he gets a new Aston Martin with this week's commission.
Wow.
He said, yeah, it's not bad to be Chad.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So let's see what happens next. We go from Chad accepting the offer to Chris. Gaming brings him in, says he's not going to sell anymore. Chris loses $209,000 commission plus the $55,000 in marketing expenses that they've split. So really, they're only blowing $22,500 a piece, but that's a lot of money. And his co-lister looked at him when he said, no, we're not going to ask you. He made the decision for both of them. She looked at him like, are you crazy, Chris? Like, I want my money back. You keep your half. But
you could do. I would have asked for half. I wouldn't have asked for the whole amount, just half. And they would have paid that gladly. But anyway, okay.
Done that. Sam says, let's see, we switch to Sam, and she's meeting with Joan, who's an older agent. She's listing the house that's vacant with a whole bunch of furniture. Very nice property. For what was it at? 1.6 million?
I think 1.3.
Okay, 1.3 million. You're right about that. So Sam, knowing that it was vacant, and this is a smart thing. Great job on Sam's part for this. Very smart real estate move. Of course, it's an easy one to make, but I'm glad she did. It makes her look good. It makes her look like she knows what she's doing. The last couple weeks, she looked different. So this week, she says the house is vacant. They've been on the market for a year. And I know they have to be ready to sell because they would have taken it off by now if they didn't have to sell it.
They're very motivated.
So she says, let's go in at 1,025. $1 million, $25,000. And they counter at 1.1, $150,000. So Joan says, are you crazy? You know, Joan's this older age. I think that was so cool seeing Joan, the older agent. I thought that was really cool. She's probably, 70? selling real estate, enjoying it.
She's probably done it since her 20s.
She looked like the master, didn't she? She just looked like, I'm just doing it to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know? She didn't really care. She got done making the deal. They settled on $1,099,000 for the outside furniture
and
too.
That was interesting. Which was a good throw-in.
Good move.
I like that.
Yeah, good move. Nice furniture on that.
I always used to.
So she makes a quick $39,000 commission on that. I don't know how quick it was, but it seemed pretty quick on TV.
Yep.
And it was. I enjoyed seeing Joan. It was cool. I hope when I'm 70, I'm doing that. It was a lot of fun. And at the end, they get off the phone, they settle the deal, and Joan says, "She wouldn't come up any, huh?" or something. And Sam said,
"Would she have come up any higher?"
Yeah, you said, "Would she have come up any higher?" And Sam says, "You'll never know."
No, that's right. It's a game. It's a game.
I love that. That was so cool seeing Joan.
Yeah.
So Chad buys a car, and it switches back to Sam, which shows they settle the deal and everything. At the very end of the episode, they leave us hanging. Good job by Bravo. I'm going to have to tweet the Bravo producer. Ty calls Chad, the one that has originally settled on $5 million to buy the complex, the 2 condos put together. And he says, "Chad, the inspection reports are really bad."
Wow.
He says, "We're going to have to come up with a $250,000 price reduction."
Wow.
And Chad says, "Are you kidding me?"
I can't believe there's that many things wrong with that apartment.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Did you see the report that they showed?
I saw. He said something about electrical, which could be real expensive, but it makes me wonder when they did the upgrades, who did all that? Yeah. You know, because obviously they didn't do a good job and shortchanged the people. You know, that the seller.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see next week if the seller goes back on the people that did the upgrades and goes back to them for some of the money,
right?
Because of the fault being there, or I just don't think they're going to drop the price $250,000. Although the list was just shown to us briefly, so you don't know what else was really. It may have just been surfacey things that were left, except electrical, or it may be something really.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Devastating.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay, what's that?
I'm going to say this. I think they're tricking us with the Aston Martin clip. I think what they've done is recorded him buying the Aston Martin after the deal's been done completely. He's got the money in the bank. After all of the inspection crisis has happened and everything.
Do you think it's going to go through then?
I think next week you're going to see them settle on a number. It may be less than $5 million, but I think they're going to make the deal. He's still going to get a large commission.
Yeah.
And then he's going to... I don't think that on a handshake, $5 million, good, we're good. Without the whole thing going through, he's experienced enough to know that deals can fall through. I don't think unless he's got money from another committee, which he does, he's going to be fine regardless if he loses it. But I think he said, I'm using my week's commission or whatever to go buy the Aston Martin. My last week's, I made it enough to buy an Aston Martin last week. So I think he waited until the deal was done and the money's in the bank and the guys moved into the freaking place. You know what I mean? I don't think that he went out and did it. So I think that's kind of like and they made it look like he went out, he bought an Aston Martin before the thing was done. Now he's going to lose all the commission money. And
yeah, that's true. It does look that way.
It looks like that. And I think they're tricking us. I think you just wait. And I think next week we're going to see a deal done. But he was really pissed off. And nobody knows if it was for camera or, threw a big, a wine bottle or wine glass and went all over the floor.
He said it's supposed to close tomorrow.
Yeah.
And here's the inspection.
Right.
But I would think from Chad's perspective, when it had just had $4 million, or they had done $4 million worth of upgrades, you would think the inspections would come back great.
Well, you'd hope so.
You would never think.
Goodness.
No, I mean when it's an older,
did the job? I mean,
an older place or whatever, sometimes there may be something coming back that's bad. But when it's just been done, you really think it's clear. And so I think that was a shock to see a sheet, a whole long sheet of stuff that was wrong with that apartment.
Issues, problems.
Yeah, that's why I wondered if most of it was superficial, or because inspectors can be you can get some that are just so picky in it, and it's stuff that doesn't really matter.
Well, there's also a couple other variables too. What if the other lister, Ty, what if the other agent is over exaggerating all the, maybe it's not $250,000.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's just because it's a big list of little small things,
But he said electrical. Electrical was thrown in there, and electrical is bad. It can be real expensive.
I know. You can have to redo everything. That can be really bad. But what if the other agent, Ty, knew this all along? What if they knew that the place had this problem, all along. And he waited until the day before closing to throw it on him, to force him in a corner.
How would he have known all that?
Well, I don't know. The inspection reports, maybe they came in sooner. Or maybe they had access to the inspection reports before he even approached the guy at the open house, you know. Who knows? What if he's trying to screw him here in this last day? I don't think he is, but...
I don't think so either, but we never did inspections like the day before closing. Yeah. Inspections 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why is he just now bringing it up, you know?
They probably did the inspection. And, of course, they're doing 15-day closings, too, some of them.
Yeah, they're quick.
We used to do 30 to 45 days, so... You know, they're pushing everything. So I could see it the day before with
so my theory's kind of out the window then.
Well, you know, you never know. It's going to be interesting to see which way it goes, but I hadn't thought about your theory of showed him with the car, and it shows him talking to the guy next week. So, you know.
I think it's going to get done eventually. I think it would be stupid for him to shake the hands and say, okay, good, we got it done for $5 million, and then go and buy a car before it's even...
Yeah. Or if the...
Unless he was planning on buying it anyways before, and he did, you know.
And it depends on when the renovations were done. If they were done recently, they can go back on that contractor, and he will have to eat it.
Yeah.
But if it was done 10 years ago, I don't know how long, you know, they had done it, but then they can't really... I don't know what they could do, but possibly they could get that taken care of, you know, without them having to pay it, if it ends up being something the contractor did.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they close the deal, but that'd be interesting. A good ending. Nice, dramatic.
Yeah, it was. It was good. I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it was good. Jen was fearing for her life. Oh, my gosh. Oh. So it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a lot better than the first 2 weeks.
I think it was, too. And we both said last week that we were going to have to get used to them, used to them. They're different from what we've been used to on the other shows.
I still like the other ones better.
Well, I did see where L.A. is starting soon. August 20th, I believe I saw. And they've got 2 new British guys coming in. They were partners.
Okay.
They're going to be partners. And they have families.
Make a video on them, actually, after this.
Yeah. And they're still having Josh Altman and Josh Flagg back. But, you know, Madison decided not to come back. And
I like Madison.
Yeah, he's been there 6 years. I didn't know he'd been there 6 years.
He's been there since the first season.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he had some other, he didn't say what it was, but he said he had some other.
I don't blame him.
He said another job kind of coming up, and he said, I hope you'll be able to see this soon, or something like that. So I'm thinking he may be on TV doing something. I don't know.
Maybe.
He likes to speak.
Yeah.
So he may be going on some kind of speaking tour or something. I don't know. He's very secretive. He hadn't said.
I like Madison.
Yeah.
But 6 years of camera gets old.
Yeah, I think I would want to move on too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's made a lot of money.
He's made money. He can retire tomorrow if he wanted to.
He's gotten his face known, credibility, all that. So, yeah.
Good for Madison.
I do too. I think that's good. But I enjoyed it. It was good this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. It was... You know, last week I was like, I don't want to watch it next week.
This had more meat in it. And this week was really good because they didn't emphasize that bikini stuff that much.
No, they didn't.
And I thought it was going to be a big deal like that last week, you know, women walking around half clothes or half off. And I didn't care for that. But this week was short and sweet and moved on, you know.
Dramatic.
And I like that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we'll wrap up the show. Do we have a quote for the day?
Ooh, I think.
I have a quote. Let's see. Let's get to the quote here.
Yeah, we need something positive.
You always like cheesy little quotes.
I do. I love them.
I'm doing this for I don't like quotes.
I do, but it's always nice to leave somebody with something positive and uplifting and happy. It makes you happy.
Well, we did Good Friends Are Like Stars last week. That was real lame.
It's not lame.
This week's is keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that too. Make you feel that you too can become great. Let me reread that.
I like that. I like that.
Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great people make you feel that too. You can become great.
That's right. The really great people, the really ones that are successful, want you to be successful too.
Okay, all right. I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Can't blame you. It's good quote from Ree there.
You don't need the jealous people in your lives. You know? You don't. I mean,
You're funny.
You want people that are going to support you.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gravitate toward those kind of people.
I gravitate towards winners.
That's right. I'm a winner. We're all winners.
Okay, folks, that's it. We'll see you next week. I hope you have a great 4th of July. Or had a great 4th.
Yeah.
Did I say
had? I think you're tired today.
I'm very tired.
You've had a lot going on. Your schedule has been overloaded from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But, 4th of July was last week.
What is today?
Today June? Is the 10th. It was last Friday was July 4th, but we had a great July 4th.
This episode's not a little weak. I think it was good. I think we did a good job.
My family had a great 4th, and we're looking forward to, the rest of the summer. We need some rain, and we need some cooler weather. But other than that, it's a great summer. And
it's a great summer with me and Ray.
It is. Great summer. Great summer.
Okay, outro. We don't have one yet, but hope you had a great week, and we'll see you next week. Join us on Twitter at the Mac Media Show. Talk to us about $1 Million Listing Miami. And let's get your opinion. I'm going to be reaching out to some more people. We've got a big community growing. Mm-hmm. Be a part of it. And until next week, this has been me and Ree Reviews.
Have a great day.
Time.
I was born to buy and sell real estate. It's the ultimate game, and no one can stop me from winning.
I hustle my ass off. That's how I'm going to go from being an underdog to taking over.
I work smarter, not harder. My life's expensive, but I'm worth it.
This is what I think it's worth.
No other agent does what I do, including you.